and gentlemen, let's go.
Level up.
Lifestyle, wellness, and a damn good time.
Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Hit it.
You're listening to the Holistic Life Podcast, presented by Say What Radio.
Welcome to...
I was just about to say that sounded like a normal intro, but you proved me wrong yet again.
the Holistic Life Show. I'm Jenny.
Yeah, I'm not the guy.
And the other guy's name is Jay. So excited you're here with us. Of course, the best season ever, the Flustercluck season.
Nah, it's not the best season ever.
Every season we do is the best season.
Exactly.
The one we're on is the best season.
Nah,
Yes.
I agree to disagree.
Look, I'm talking about in the moment that we do every podcast, regardless of what the season is, it's the best season ever. And you disagree.
Yep.
You're crazy. I think whatever we put out is badass bitches.
And there's nowhere to go from best, though.
Oh, here we go. There's everywhere to go from best. Why can't you just own it in some moments?
Because I always want to be better.
Okay, fine. This is the worst season ever.
Eh,
What word would you choose? It's called hype.
is it?
Hype. It's the best season ever. Hype.
Okay.
He is not a hype man. But guess what? We do have a 2J hype squad. If you want to be a part of it, reach out to us on Instagram at 2_J holla. We're going to have some cool gear for our 2J hype squad, but you're not going to take any learning from Jay on hype because this is the best season ever. So welcome to the episode about Zenith. Okay, so apparently Jay was like ready to go on this one, and yet he's just quiet. So I have to define Zenith because I really wasn't sure what it meant, and I'm going to share, okay? Because you may be like, what the hell is Zenith? Or hey, maybe you already know and you're freaking smart, and that's awesome. So proud. Love it that you're smart, even though, here we go. I got a 3.9 GPA in high school. Doesn't mean anything. And I got a 4.0. No. Rewind. I got a 4.038 in high school.
Why did you just sound like a dog who got hit? What the fuck was that?
Rewind. I got a 4.038 in high school. I got a 3.9 in college. I'm pretty dang smart, but I didn't know what Zenith was. And smart is relative. Book smart. Not always street smart. Okay, so Zenith. Zenith is the time at which something is most powerful or successful. And then in astronomy, it means the point in the sky or celestial sphere directly above an observer.
Got it.
Do you need it used in a sentence?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in a sentence, under Justinian, the Byzantine Empire reached its zenith of influence.
That sentence is whack.
I'm sorry, sir. That's the only sentence we have. Now, can you spell zenith?
Nope. His sentence is trash. Let's move on. I don't know. I guess that kind of goes into like the best, you know? What do they say? Reaching your peak or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Reaching your prime. I guess that would be a zenith. I always feel there's another level. There's always another level. Like, so I guess the zenith is always changing for me. But if the zenith is like the highest point.
It's not necessarily the highest. It says the time at which something is most powerful or successful.
Okay.
But I would say that's looking over because according to the sentence that you thought was whack, it's talking about how the empire reaches zenith of influence.
The sentence is still trash.
If you look back at the time frame, that was like the height of their influence.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, that's kind of like a stopping point, the end point. Like, they didn't get any better than that.
That sucks for them. So how can we get better? So, you know, once we scale that hill and we hit that zenith, is there another hill?
There's always another hill. There's always.
But how come this empire didn't get the hill?
Because they probably got complacent and comfortable. They probably didn't strive to get any better.
They like that power too much.
You know, I think like when people use words like best, they get comfortable. They get complacent. They don't think there's anywhere else to go. That's when someone swoops in and does something better than you do it.
Mm.
And then you're like, yo, like I'm the best public speaker. You know, I'm the best marketing guru. Like I'm the best. It's like labeling yourself. Like to me, that's kind of cocky and arrogant in a sense, because it's like, this is where it stopped. Like it doesn't go beyond me. There is no next level. Like I am it. That's like, yeah, nah. Like there's always another level. So I try to refrain from using words like best, because you can always be better.
Okay, well, question then. About 872,000 companies say that they have the best ice cream, the best Italian, the best pizza, the best service, the best whatever in their marketing, in their taglines, in their commercials, in their flyers.
So what's the question?
So the question is, all of these companies use that. So you're saying that's whack?
Yep.
It's arrogant? It's...
Yeah. Yes, I do. Very much so. How many people have we run into who said such and such has the best pizza?
All of them. All of them say they have the best.
I'm talking about people.
Oh, people. I'm talking about companies.
Well, my point is, for one, that's marketing. To say it and believe it is two different things.
They obviously believe it.
No, they don't believe it. It's
you
marketing.
You don't think the marketing?
No, I don't. I think
if we put the best whatever on ours, I believe that shit.
I wouldn't. That's a ploy. That's a game to get people over to your place.
Got it. Because people want the best, because they look in like Yelp or whatever for the best.
Just like copyright. It's a psychological thing. It's a play on words.
Oh, it's a song by Tina Turner.
That was probably used in one of those commercials.
Probably.
But yeah, no, I don't believe those companies believe it, because if they did believe that they were the best, they wouldn't constantly look for ways to improve. Now, would they say not the best because we're continuing to get better? Would you want to go to a place like that? So of course they're going to use the fancy shiny words to make people say, "Oh, there's the best. Let me go try it."
Okay, so I just put in Google, who is the best? And then here's all the fill in the blank. Rapper, singer in the world, rapper of all time, rapper in 2020, Fortnite player, player in the world, drummer in the world, Minecraft player, example of a dictator. Well, damn, it just went left.
All of that is perspective, though. I mean, it's really relative, because if I ask Google who the best rapper is,
which one am I looking up, in the world or of all time? Because my curiosity is kicking in. I want to know who the best is. Of all time or in the world?
They're both relative. Pick one.
Of all time. 10 best rappers of all time, according to Billboard.
According to Billboard. Once again, relative.
Not all 10 are on this. Let me go on to the next screen. Number 10, Lil Wayne.
Disagree.
With him being number 10? Or him being on the top 10?
Him being in the top 10, in my personal opinion.
Kendrick Lamar, number 9.
Agree with him being in the top 10.
8, Ghostface Killah.
Definitely. He would be in my top 3.
7, Lauryn Hill.
She's not really a rapper, more like a lyricist and songwriter. Definitely would not even be on the top 10 list of rappers. Let's continue.
6, Andre 3000.
Oh, yep. Top 3.
5, Nas.
Yep. Agree.
4, Rakim.
I mean, wouldn't be on my top 10, but I get it.
3, Eminem.
Okay.
I got excited about that one.
Of course you did.
2, Jay-Z.
Agree.
Number 1, who's your guess?
I don't have one.
Through. You don't have one? Notorious B.I.G.
Definitely would not be my number 1. I don't even think he would make my top 10. I'm probably going to get some heat from that.
But Billboard says...
It's relative.
Right. It totally is.
But we're talking about what other people are saying.
Well, this one's good because this different article by Medium, which is not by Medium, it's by Brad Callis in 2018.
Clickbait.
From a purely commercial perspective. So it's kind of based on album sales, number one albums. Like that's more based on data.
Right.
Number 1 singles, number 1 rap songs.
Yep.
Because number 10 in 2018, P. Diddy. 9, Tupac. 8, Lil Wayne. 7, Ludacris. 6, 50 Cent. 5, Kanye West. 4, Nelly. 3, Drake. 2, Jay-Z. 1, Eminem.
So you're going by data, But if we're talking about like taking out the data, putting into, and even from that, see, the list has changed. And I'm pretty sure if you asked any one of those, some of those people wouldn't consider themselves the best rapper because they're always striving to be better than they were.
Right. Well, and they just may be at the zenith of their career, or they could hold the zenith. Some of these people are still like Michael Jackson before he died.
It's hard for me because I feel that's perspective. You know, are you limiting yourself to that? Because some might say, who is, let's take LL Cool J, because LL has kind of transcended generations. So to say like LL was in his prime back in like the early 90s is difficult for me because LL is one of those people who kept with the times. You know what I'm saying? When the music changed, LL changed with the music to make himself still relevant. That's why there's always maybe a new Zenith. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a next level, maybe like your Zenith, his career, for sake of conversation, since we're talking about, you know, musicians, artists and all that, you can talk about Zeniths in time frames.
Yeah.
But it's like, I hit this goal. Do I stop? Like, I think that's my challenge with this like Zenith thing. Like, I think you hit the Zenith and some people just get comfortable there. And it's like, no, I refuse to get comfortable because the times are always changing and I want to be up on relevancy. If my thing is to like help people, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't help people in the realm of wellness, fitness, nutrition if I'm still working on data back in like 2003.
Right. Do you feel that you could hit a zenith in something and then not have an interest to go to a next level and then move on to something else?
Like totally switch it up, change it?
I guess. I mean, I was just thinking like me in sales, right? And you're talking about how things are changing. I mean, I guess I'm always going to be improving in sales, but I think of my job as a corporate salesperson. You know, I hit my zenith. I did good.
I think if that's your goal.
And then, but like with coronavirus, everything changed and now it's going more virtual. It's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
And it wasn't something, and it isn't something I want to try to figure out.
That's another aspect too. Okay. So it's like, okay, my corporate career, I did X amount of whatever here and there. Right. And then I wanted to switch it up and start my own business. You know, as a business owner, I hit my prime here. I do see people hitting zeniths as kind of like benchmarks in their lifetime.
I like that as a benchmark.
But still, even though it's not in the same thing, there's still another level. There's still another zenith, even if it isn't in the same area of sales. Yes, you hit your zenith in sales, but now you're finding your groove. You're trying to hit that zenith in a business owner. And once you hit that, you might say, okay, cool. I hit the zenith or I hit my prime as a business owner. Now I want to show other people how to do that. There's still another level. So like zenith for me and how dictionary.com or whoever defined it, I don't resonate with because it's like the end point, you know?
I don't know if it's an end point because similar words are like high point, height, top, peak, pinnacle, apex. Like it's more those kind of words, not necessarily end point. Okay. But maybe that's how you view it as an end point.
Not necessarily end point, but it's like the glass ceiling. You can only go so far. For me, it would work better like name a mountain.
Pikes Peak.
Is this the highest mountain in the world?
No.
Okay. So Pikes Peak, for instance, right? You hike to the top of Pikes Peak. You can't go any further than that. That's the zenith of Pikes Peak. So what's after Pikes Peak?
Just in general.
Just in general.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a 14 or a 12 or 11, somewhere in that range.
She's
got them all up.
Hey, if you guys don't know what the hell that means, I don't.
The amount of feet it is in the air.
There we go.
So Denali, because now I've got a list in front of me. Denali's in Alaska. That's 2308 feet.
So it's like, I guess for me, like if zenith is like your goal, the goal of Denali is the peak, the zenith, the very top of that, right? And you hit that. You're like, all right, boom, this is the top. For this particular goal or whatever, I can't go any higher than this. So what's next?
I mean, the highest, Mount Everest, 29,029 feet. The highest, period. End of story, unless you go to the moon.
I really don't even think I would use the word zenith.
I probably wouldn't, not in like regular life.
But even like subconsciously, I like peak rather than zenith.
Correction, Pikes Peak is 14, or I said 14 or 11 or 13. It's 14 or 14115.
Yes, so all you hikers out there, don't send us hate mail saying you don't know what the hell you're talking about. She corrected herself. So
I thought it was a 14er because it's in Colorado. And there's so many 14ers in Colorado.
But yeah, like there's always another peak. There's always something else. There's always that thing. So if it was defined differently for me, some people might see that and be like, yeah, okay, I get it. But it's just like the way that my mind works and processes things like that. It's like, okay, I did that. What's next?
Well, there's always going to be a what's next. I guess unless you're okay with becoming complacent.
Right. Hence why I said that definition sentence was trash.
And I don't even want to say, but it was about the highest point. So like, I get it, because if you look back on your life, like if I look back at my softball career, I can very clearly see the zenith of my softball career. And it would have been my sophomore year in college.
Got it.
That was when I was like super focused. I still played good, right? In the years after and whatnot. But like that point, being able to see the ball rotating, I hit the most home runs in my career. That year, our team took 7th or 8th in nationals. Sorry, coach. I don't remember which one. We like.
Does he even listen to the show?
No, but just in case. Okay. Just in case. He found us miraculously. For a guy who doesn't have Wi-Fi or hardly know how to use his phone, he may have found us. Okay. He knows how to use his phone. He's just not into it. He's into hunting and stuff not related to the phone. That would have been, looking back, that would have been the zenith of my softball. Are there other years that I played really well and I did really good? Absolutely. Could I hit another zenith? Sure.
That just sounds weird to me.
But that was the peak. Okay, fine. I don't say zenith. That was the peak. It's very clear to me. In the moment, I didn't necessarily think like, oh, this is my prime. I'm the best. I feel like, too, only a few people in this world, like a small percentage, actually get to be the best at something. And what I mean by that is like holding whatever record for being the fastest mile or for being the whatever. You are literally the best.
Right.
In that. Michael Phelps, like until, and you could hold that best record doesn't mean you're still performing at that year after year after, maybe you are, right? It just depends on like where they're at in their process. They hit an absolute best, the top, the zenith. Because even if you look at like Michael Phelps, right? Like he's not going to be able to swim at that his entire life. And there's really like he already hit, and someone's going to beat him eventually if they haven't already. Have someone broke his record yet?
I don't know. Swimming really.
We'd have to look it up, but basically it's like someone's going to eventually beat his record.
Right.
If they haven't already. Okay. So like, does he hold it for a year? Does he hold it for 10 years?
We should have a call-in show.
I know, right? Now I feel like I want Michael Phelps records.
Try, has anyone beat Michael Phelps' record?
Michael Jordan came up. Okay, so here's a perfect example. At the Swimming World Championships, Milak, however you say it, a 19-year-old Hungarian, claimed the world record in the 200-meter butterfly, which Phelps had held for 18 years.
Wow.
So Phelps was the best at that. Now, granted, he only had to hit it once to hold that record. Could he hit it year after year? Maybe. Probably. I don't know, right? Definitely that year he hit it could have been the zenith or it could have not been the zenith. But now we're getting into like a little bit difference when it comes to best.
Right.
Michael Phelps was the best at the 200-meter butterfly until now Milak is, or Milak. Now he is the best. But my point is only a small percentage of people get to hold that title, because I might have been the best softball player my sophomore year, but that was within my college, my circle, our conference, whatever, right? Like, and I wasn't the best, but like for sake of conversation, right? I might have been the best in the conference and all those things, But then what happens when we go to a different conference?
Right.
What happens when we go from Ohio to California?
It's kind of about being the valedictorian, and then you go to college and you're surrounded by all these other valedictorians.
Right. So, I mean, yes, I was the best, but like in my little circle.
Right.
But like when you're talking best, like there's only a handful of people who actually get to hold that, legitimately hold it. If we're talking like what you're talking, where there really is like, can they get better? Absolutely. If we go back to the rappers and stuff, musicians, artists,
Whoever.
they're not going to remain. How about the one-hit wonders? You know, they're not going to remain around for 5, 10, 15, 20 years if they don't keep.
Call me maybe.
Right? I don't even want to talk about her. So, yeah. Zenith. I mean, I get what you're saying. I get your point. Because you don't really like the words like mastery or guru. Or,
but it's like, because if you're talking, I get in an entertainment state or a frame or a sports realm. You know what I'm saying? You strive for that. But as business owners, as people, do I really want to strive for zenith or peak or prime? And some people might. Not to knock it. Some people might. But I feel like there's consistent growth. Like there's consistent learning. So I can always get better.
True. But like, okay, so you're talking about the prime and the peak. I feel like some of that can only be realized when you look back at a period of time and be like, whoa, 2020 was my breakout year. Like I had the best year of all years, right? Like for example, you could look back in a time frame versus I can't imagine being like, oh my God, I really want to hit a zenith. That seems weird versus, you know, let's say we're looking at financial things for a business, you know, man, I'm really like, we're really kicking ass in business. We have $1 million business. We're at our prime. This is awesome. But then, like you said, there's another level of growth. So you can double or triple your business. You can do different things. So you're still going to grow.
Right.
You're still going to do things. You're not just going to be like, oh, I made $1 million. That's it. I'm done. Because at that point, you're already helping even more people. And you're like, wow, how can I continue to scale this to help even more people and touch even more lives?
I think it should. I don't know. I feel like the mindset is kind of tied into that. Like, oh my God, I really hit my prime in my 30s, or I'm having a midlife crisis. Like all these things tie into that for me. And it's just like, why would you even put that energy out there?
Yeah.
I love the stories when you run across people who are being like, you know, I did this in my 20s. I did this in my 30s, wellness related. And I'm 50, 60, 70 years old, and I'm in better shape now than I was like then.
Yeah.
So it's like redefining that whole thing. Like, what is prime?
Right.
What is prime? And I guess that's a long about way to get here. But it's like, you know, what is prime? Like you could look back and say business related or whatever. Yeah, that was a breakout year, but something else could happen to totally flip that year on its head. If you stop looking, you kind of get complacent in what you're doing. Like, oh yeah, we're pretty damn good in this wellness thing. Like what else is there? There's always something else.
Right.
There's always something else. I just got the wrap up sign. So if you're looking for that something else, if you're looking for your next level, you kind of like, I dig what you guys are saying, but you know, how do I tap into that? We'd love to get on a wellness breakthrough call with you. We'd love to talk about where you are, where you want to go, and how we can help you get there.
So just go to the number 2, jholla.com/breakthrough.
Yep. Pick a time. Is that the scheduling thing?
No, that'll kind of take you through what's included in the call. And then
The scheduling thing.
Yeah, once you purchase the call, you can go to the scheduling.
So yes, go there, check it out. And if you are already able and willing to go to that next level, get on the call with us. Telling you, you won't regret it. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. I know that kind of sounds cliche, but we are so serious.
We are 58 peaks in Colorado serious.
Oh my God. That's pretty fucking serious.
58 peaks that have more than 14,000 feet.
Or if you're like a hiker, your ears probably lit up.
You're like, that's serious.
Yeah, like you're like, oh shit, they're serious. Hey, I don't even know how serious we are, but apparently we're pretty fucking serious.
58 peaks.
Yeah, if you're looking for a breakthrough, if you're looking for your next level, definitely go to 2jholler.com/breakthrough and holler at us.
Holler? Since when do you say holler?
Since you're listening. So until next time, guys, mahala.
Mahala.
You can subscribe to the Holistic Life Podcast from your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to check out 2jholler.com to stay in the know as an official 2JH insider. Mahalo for tuning in. And until next time, that's our show.